If you're clicking on this video, you're probably just like me. You're a stoner who struggles with sleep, don't we all? But I got great news for you. This is the top 6 cannabis strains to improve your sleep.
Say that knowledge is a weapon, and GRAMBO Grows is here to teach with every grow tip and technique.
That being said, guys, before we get started, I have to give you my cheat code, and that's edibles. I can smoke and smoke, dab and dab, and it helps with my sleep, but it really doesn't put me out to bed. So if you get your hands on some good edibles, I recommend that. If not, I recommend buying some of these seeds, getting some of these cuts, or finding these from your local dispensary or black market buddy. But before we jump in, we got to do a little groundwork. What exactly about weed makes you sleepy? We got to understand all the cannabinoids. THC gets all the love, and of late, CBD has been getting a lot of love. But one of the lesser-known cannabinoids is CBN, cannabinol. It is one of the cannabinoids that actually breaks down from the other cannabinoids. We all know that a lot of cannabinoids start out as CBGA, and as the CBGA starts to degrade, it turns into THC, CBD, and then eventually finally settles into the CBN. Kicking off the list, number 6. Ocean Fruit by Square One Genetics. See, guys, this is exactly why I wanted to open up this conversation by talking about cannabinoids, because the ocean fruit is a strong sativa. Most people think that indicas take you down, sativas bring you up. That's not actually the case. It's the entourage effect. It's how all the cannabinoids, all the flavonoids, and all the terpenes interact to actually modulate the high. There's no such thing as a sativa molecule. What actually modulates your high is those terpenes, flavonoids, and cannabinoids. So let's talk terpenes. In this plant, one of the main things you're going to find is myrcene, pinene, and caryophyllene. Now, caryophyllene, we always use a mnemonic device over at Dude Grows Show. If you can't say it, just remember, you got to carry off caryophyllene. And this is as good as time as any to remind you guys that we have endocannabinoid receptors. We're all different. So what works for me is not going to work for you. All right, guys. Number 5, Northfire Cookies by Northfire. It's an indica dominant hybrid, which is one of my favorites for anything related to insomnia or depressive feelings. I classify this one as a body high. Usually with the sleep strains, you want to focus on the body highs, and this is one of the strongest hitters. If you guys decide to pick up some of the seeds from these guys, you're going to be real happy with what it looks like. I always love the strains that have the almost so purple it's black. You get the white trichomes contrasted against the black leaf. It almost makes it look gray. Northfire Cookies, that's exactly what you're getting. And what's great about those indica hybrids, they stay squat, so you don't have to worry as much about the stretch. With those sativa strains, you're going to get all that stretch. But as far as the Northfire Cookies, it's going to stay nice and squat in your garden. Number 4, you guys know, by the homie Rasta Jeff over Irie Genetics, I bring you Dark Hollow. Dark Hollow is one of my favorite strains from Irie. You know about GRAMBO, you know I love GMO, and this is GMO times a rise. The morphology gives a very long internode space. Some of the branches look a little bit longer, so you want to stay on top of that. It's got those nice dark colored leaves, and I've noticed that it always has like smaller popcorn buzz. Not that it doesn't grow giant colas, but some of the flavor hides in some of those lowers. So with this one, maybe not upstrip so tightly, but Rasta Jeff says, as soon as you smoke this one, it's going to make your eyes heavy. And for sleep, that's what we want. So guys, check out Dark Hollow by Irie Genetics. All right, guys, that brings us to number 3, Peanut Butter Breath by Thug Pug Genetics. This one's about a 60% indica-leaning hybrid. As the name might lead you to believe, it's got a kind of interesting, nutty, floral, kind of dank green bud sort of flavor. But with a strong and super clean lift, this one's perfect for sleep. Really pushes the THC content. I've seen it push up to almost 28% in some tests. And guys, I always recommend getting the seeds or a cut and growing them out yourself. You know, this is a grow show after all. But if you guys can't find the seeds, ask your local dispensary. Make sure you ask your bud tender more than about just THC and indica and sativa. Ask about the cannabinoids, the flavonoids, the terpenes. Those are what actually modulate the high. Number 2, Hoodoo by Dominion Seed Company. I love Hoodoo. It's one of the most unique flavor profiles I came across. I'm a big chem guy. This takes a little bit of chem, a little bit of citrus. It's one of my favorite flavor profiles. I love those chems. I love those OGs. This one's got a little Chem 99 in it. It's got a little SFE OG. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to like there. It's got an interesting growth pattern. It's short and squat, like my ex-wife. What I like about this one, especially for new growers, it's very pest and mold resistant. As you guys know, PM, that's not going to be good for your immune system. So anyone out there struggling with immune health, sleep disorders, or depression, you don't want any of those mold pathogens finding a way into your bloodstream. So growing plants that are mold resistant and healthy from the beginning, that's just a great grow tip. And the number 1 cannabis strain for helping you sleep, 9 Pound Hammer by Jinx Proof Genetics. This is an amazing sleep strain. It is a heavy indica dominant strain. It is like a baseball bat to your cerebellum. Its parents are Gooberry and Jesus OG Kush. Jesus OG Kush. Would you expect anything different from my number one? For you guys that like those citrus strains, this was a great treat for bedtime. It's got this fruity aroma. I mean, think melon, lime, grapes. It's one of the most unique citrus profiles out there. And I can say, as a guy who's not all about the citrus, that's a big thing for me. But not only is this one great for sleep, this one's great for pain. I always talk to my good friend JR Toku, who deals with a lot of pain issues, that this is a great one for any edibles, RSO, or FICA oil. As far as growing this one, it's just a beautiful plant. It's got those tight calyxes, those dark purple leaves that I always love, and those big, fat, white, bulbous trichome heads. How are you going to sleep? Like you got hit with a 9-pound hammer in the head. Did I miss your favorite strain? Do you have one that always works for you? Let me know in the comments. Maybe if I see a couple, I'll make another video using your guys' suggestions. Thank you so much. Subscribe if you haven't. See that share button down there? Roll this video up. Pass it to a friend. That's it for me. I'm Josh GRAMBO. This is GRAMBO Grows.